Now, they may be aquatic. They may be aquatic. Okay, aquatic means they may live in fresh water or they may live in marine water. Okay, they may live in fresh water or they may live in marine water. Some are terrestrial also. Okay, some annelids live on the land, so we are saying a terrestrial animals. Some are terrestrial in nature. Okay, so annelids are triploblastic animals. Triploblastic का मतलब होता है कि इनमें 3 germ layers होते हैं, ectoderm, endoderm and middle mesoderm. Bilaterally symmetrical animals. Organ system level. True segmentation is present. Body is divided into number of segments. They are having the coelom. So we are saying coelomates. They may live in fresh water. They may live in marine water. Some of the annelids live on the land. Okay. Now, as they have segments, the name Annelida given. Okay. The name Annelida is given. So due to the presence of the segments in their body, the name is given as Annelida. So actually, annulus, okay, annulus means ring. So when you see the body of the annulus, you can see the segments which are ring-like. Okay, not suppose if you see this is the segment which is not like the ring. But annelids are the animals which are having ring-like segments like this. So that is the name, that is the reason the name is given as Annelida. So annelids are triploblastic animals. They are bilaterally symmetrical animals. Organ system level. True segmentation is present in annelids, and there is a body cavity, which we say body cavity as coelom, space between the body wall and alimentary canal. They are aquatic. If they are aquatic, some of them are freshwater, some are living in marine water. Some annelids are terrestrial in nature. As the body is divided into segments which look like ring. Okay, as the body, as they have segments, the name Annelida is given. As they have segments like rings. Okay, so the name we are giving as Annelida. Now, these are the animals which are first coelomates, first cyzocoelomates. So annelids are the animals which have formed cyzocoelom for the first time. Okay, we have studied that coelom is of two types, cyzocoelom and enterocoelom. So these animals are annelids are the animals in which cyzocoelom was developed. So these are the first animals to have the cyzocoelom. Okay, that is also an important point. Now, when you take the body wall of these annelids, okay, so as they are triploblastic animals, so cells generally are arranged in 3 layers. So the body wall of these animals contains epidermis, and epidermis, below the epidermis there is a circular fiber layer, and below the circular muscle fiber layer there is longitudinal muscle fiber layer. So the body wall of the annelids, so I am writing in sequence outer epidermis. They have epidermis on the outer side, and below the epidermis we have circular muscle layer, circular muscle fiber layer. Okay, muscle fibers, and below the circular muscles we have longitudinal muscle layer. Okay, so like this way the body wall organization will be there. Epidermis. So what is the function of epidermis? The function of epidermis is it protects the body. Okay, now in these annelids, epidermis is coated with cuticle. So they have also a cuticle which is non-living layer. That is also a unique point of this epidermis about this annelids is that epidermis is coated with moist cuticle. The cuticle is moist. Okay, right? What is your doubt?
So this cuticle is same as the plant cuticle vaccine nature.
No, that is the plant cuticle is different because it is made up of waxy substances. Animal cuticle is different, but function is same. So cuticle is giving protection to the body. In the plants also, cuticle gives protection and it prevents the transpiration. Okay, so name is same, little bit functions are same, but chemical composition of animal cuticle and plant cuticle varies. Okay, so we are saying that epidermis is coated with moist cuticle. So the main function of the epidermis in the animals is, so cuticle in the animals is to give extra protection only. Now, when you take this epidermis, epidermis is made up of columnar epithelium cells. So now first the question comes, what is epithelium and what is this epidermis? So now if you see any organism, suppose this is an organism. Okay, so the outer layer is called as what? Epidermis. Remember. So in any organism, in plant or an animal, outermost layer, suppose this is an hand, this is an outermost layer, this skin, this is nothing but this is called as epidermal layer. Okay, so leanings of the body cavities are leanings of the body, we say it as epidermis. So epidermis is made up of cells which are called as what? Epithelial cells. We can also say them as epidermal cells. ओके, तो एपिडर्मिस कौन से सेल से बना हुआ है? एपिडर्मिस जो है एपिथेलियल सेल से बना हुआ है. जब हम प्लांट की बात, एनिमल की बात करते हैं तो जनरली एपिथेलियल सेल्स का नाम यूज करते हैं. यू कैन आल्सो से दिस एपिडर्मल सेल्स आल्सो, नो प्रॉब्लम. ओके, सो कोई भी ऑर्गेनिज्म का जो आउटर मोस्ट सरफेस होता है वो जो है उसको ही हम बोलते हैं एपिडर्मिस. ये सपोज एक ऑर्गेनिज्म है तो इसका जो आउटर मोस्ट सरफेस है उसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? एपिडर्मिस. सो एपिडर्मिस कौन से सेल से बना हुआ है? एपिथेलियल सेल से बना हुआ है, राइट. सो एपिडर्मिस इज मेड अप ऑफ एपिथेलियल सेल्स. नाउ ये एपिथेलियल सेल्स जो है अलग अलग शेप, अलग अलग साइज के होते हैं. तो कुछ एपिथेलियल सेल्स जो है सर्कुलर होते हैं तो वी से सर्कुलर एपिथेलियम. कुछ एपिथेलियल सेल्स ट्यूब जैसे होते हैं तो वी से क्यूबाइडल एपिथेलियम. कुछ एपिथेलियल सेल्स कॉलम जैसे होते हैं, कॉलम्स लाइक दिस. तो उस टाइम पे हम बोलेंगे कॉलमनार एपिथेलियम. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ कॉलमनार एपिथेलियम? कॉलमनार एपिथेलियम का मतलब होता है कि जो एपिडर्मिस है, जो उसके एपिथेलियल सेल्स है वो कॉलम जैसे हैं, सिलेंड्रिकल शेप में है. जब सिलेंड्रिकल शेप वाले सेल रहेंगे तो हम उसको बोलेंगे कॉलमनार एपिथेलियम. अगर मान लो ट्यूब जैसे सेल्स दिखेंगे, ट्यूब, आइस ट्यूब, उस टाइम पे हम बोलेंगे क्यूबाइडल एपिथेलियम. ओके, सो epidermis is coated with moist cuticle. Now epidermis जो है is made of columnar epithelial cells. Columnar epithelial cells. So they are cylindrical cells or column-like cells. Like this way they are present. Okay, we are saying them as what? Columnar epithelial cells. So this is a prominent point that our annelids are having epidermis, circular muscle fiber layer, longitudinal muscle fiber layer, or we can say simply circular muscles, longitudinal muscles, and above the epidermis we have a moist cuticle which is giving protection to the body. Okay, so now our 3 points are very clear that these annelids are triploblastic, bilaterally symmetrical schizocelomates with organ system level of body organization. Aquatic, terrestrial. As the body is divided into the segments which look like a ring, which resembles the rings, we say them as annelids. Annulus, the name annelida comes from annulus, a Greek word. Annulus का मतलब होता है ring. Okay. Again, what we said that body wall is having epidermis. Epidermis is made up of columnar epithelial cells. Epidermis जो है, it is coated with moist cuticle. Below epidermis we have circular layer, circular muscle layer and longitudinal muscle layer. So what this muscle layer will do means, this muscle layers, circular muscle layer and longitudinal muscle layers, they help in locomotion. Okay, so locomotion is the main function of this muscle layers. So these muscle layers help the animal to move from one place to another place. We say it as what? Locomotion, right? Now another important point related to annelids is, now when you take aquatic annelids, they possess some appendages for swimming. Okay, so aquatic annelids have पैरापोडिया। ये सिर्फ एक्वाटिक एनिलिड्स में होते हैं पैरापोडिया। ओके, सपोज ये एक्वाटिक एनिलिड है, इसके छोटे पैर जैसे स्ट्रक्चर्स होते हैं जिसको हम बोलते हैं पैरापोडिया। ओके, तो ये पैरापोडिया का काम क्या है? एक्वाटिक एनिलिड्स ऑफ पैरापोडिया व्हिच हेल्प इन स्विमिंग। ओके, एक्वाटिक एनिलिड का एक एग्जांपल है नेरिस। So Nereis is an example of what you can say aquatic annelid. Okay, so ये याद रखो, ये पैरापोडिया सिर्फ और सिर्फ aquatic annelids में होते हैं, और जो टेरेस्ट्रियल annelids होते हैं उनको स्विम करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है, उन्हें सिर्फ लोकोमोट करना पड़ता है। तो उनमें अलग स्ट्रक्चर्स होते हैं जिन्हें भी से सीटे। ओके, सीटे सीटे जनरली दिस सीटे आर प्रेजेंट इन व्हाट आवर टेरेस्ट्रियल annelids. So aquatic annelids have the parapodia which help them in swimming. Now, chitinous setae. Chitinous setae means what? Setae are made up of chitin. Chitin is one sort of carbohydrate. Okay, chitinous setae help in locomotion. So parapodia also helping the body to locomote. Setae also help in locomotion, but the main difference is parapodia are organs of swimming, but chitinous setae are the organs of movement, moving from one point to another point. So both is locomotion only. So parapodia specially help in swimming, but setae cannot help the animal to swim. These parapodia are present only in our aquatic annelids. Okay. Now, apart from this, setae and parapodia, there is a important animal in this
Sir.
kingdom.
Sir, parapodia and setae are present only in aquatic annelids, no?
No, see, this parapodia are extra present in aquatic annelids. Parapodia are not present in terrestrial annelids. So terrestrial annelids will have setae. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So the setae are made up of what? The setae are made up of chitin. What is chitin? Chitin is one sort of carbohydrate. What is carbohydrate? A substance which contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Generally, we are saying it as carbohydrate. So our glucose is a carbohydrate, glycogen is also a carbohydrate, starch is a carbohydrate. Like this way, chitin is one of the polymer which is also a carbohydrate. Now, in this phylum Annelida, a very famous animal is there. Can you guess that famous animal?
Earthworm.
Leeches.
Earthworm, very good. Earthworm. And apart from that, there is one famous animal known as leech. Leech. Okay. So generally, this leech will suck the blood. This leech will suck the blood of the animals. Okay. So leech is generally aquatic. Leech is generally aquatic. Leech have suckers to suck the blood. So leech have special structures known as suckers so that it can suck the blood. As it is aquatic, it must have parapodia. It is an exceptional case that our leech do not have parapodia. Okay, so leech do not have any parapodia. Instead, this leech have suckers. So the suckers are the structures which help the leech to suck the blood from the animal, fast animal. It is a blood sucking animal. So can you say what is the name given to blood suckers? जैसा what you can say, grass eating animals, we say herbivores. So blood sucking animals have one special name. Do you have any idea about it? So they are called sanguivorous animals. Blood sucking animals are known as what? Sanguivorous. You remember it's not needed for you, just as the point came, I am saying.
Sir, they are also known as hematophagia, no?
Yeah, they are also known as hematophagia, but the most famous they are known as sanguivorous animals. Both are correct. Very good. So leech is a blood sucking animal. So generally you might have not seen the leech. Some students may have seen the leech. So this leech sucks the blood. So inside the water it will live, and when it attacks you, you will not get an idea that it has attacked you. Means that much cleverly it will attack you. So generally it will attack buffaloes. So buffaloes always they will be swimming in the water. You might have seen buffaloes. तो हमेशा वो पानी में टाइम पास करते हैं. तो ये बफेलोस को जनरली लीचेस अटैक करते हैं, और लीचेस जो है बफेलोस को अटैच करके उनका ब्लड को वो सब करते हैं. लीच अटैच करने के बाद भी हमें कुछ महसूस नहीं होता है. ओके, सो लाइक दैट वे दे विल अटैक. So that is an important sanguivorous animal and very famous animal. Earthworm is also very famous animal. Now, another prominent point is what first cytocoelomates. Okay, in annelids, coelom was formed for the first time, and the coelom which is formed for the first time is cytocoelom. That is also an important point. Now, there is a coelomic fluid. Why? Because as they have the coelom is filled with coelomic fluid. So this coelomic fluid which is there, it is acting as hydrolytic skeleton. So what is skeleton? So they do not have bony skeleton, but due to the pressure of the coelomic fluid, the body will get the shape. So if you take a balloon and if you fill water in it, you will get one particular shape. Like that way only, due to the flow of the coelom, body is getting a particular shape. And when the body gets shape due to flow of fluid, we say such skeleton as hydraulic skeleton or hydrostatic skeleton. Okay, so coelomic fluid acts as what? Hydrostatic skeleton or hydrostatic skeleton. So they do not have true skeleton. What is true skeleton? A true skeleton is a skeleton made up of bones and cartilages. But lower animals do not have bones and cartilages. Okay, so that is an important thing. And when you take the digestive system is defined as complete digestive system, because alimentary canal has mouth and anus. Alimentary canal is having a mouth and anus. But interesting thing is digestion is extracellular but not intracellular. So generally, if an animal is having complete digestive system, it must possess intracellular digestion. Generally, but these are exemptions that they have. What you can say? Extracellular digestion. Digestive system is complete. Okay, so they have complete digestive system, but digestion is defined as extracellular digestion. That is their speciality, we can say. So digestive system is complete. तो कंप्लीट मतलब अब डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम इज कंप्लीट का मतलब क्या हुआ कि एलिमेंटरी कैनल में माउथ भी है और एनस भी. So when an alimentary canal is having mouth and anus, we say it as complete digestive system or tube within tube body plan organization. So digestive system is complete. Digestion is extracellular. Extracellular means what? The digestion is taking place outside the cell but not inside the cell. Okay, this is one speciality कि इनमें extracellular digestion होता है. ये भी एक थोड़ा speciality है. Intracellular होना चाहिए, but इनमें प्रकृति का नियम है तो इनमें intracellular digestion नहीं होता है. Okay, अब respiration कैसे होता है? Respiration जो है, respiration by moist skin. So ये annelids का जो skin होता है, for example this is an annelid. Let us think this is an annelid. Annelids का जो skin है वो cuticle से coated है by because this is an outermost layer, this epidermis. Epidermis is covered by moist cuticle, greenish. Okay, so the respiration is taking place by the skin only, and when respiration takes place by skin, we say it as cutaneous respiration. Okay, that is cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous respiration. What is cutaneous respiration? जब respiration skin के through होता है तो हम उसको बोलते हैं cutaneous respiration. हम cutaneous respiration नहीं कर सकते. हमें lungs है, हम we will respire with the help of our lungs, but our annelids, they have cutaneous respiration. So through the skin only they will respire, taking in oxygen, giving out carbon dioxide. That is their specialty. So we say it as what? Cutaneous respiration. Respiration when occurs by skin, we say cutaneous respiration. Respiration when occurs by gill, we say gill respiration. Respiration by trachea, we say tracheal respiration. Respiration by lungs, we say dash respiration. गिल्स, अगर रेस्पिरेशन गिल से होता है तो हम गिल रेस्पिरेशन भी से, अगर ट्रकिया से होता है,
lung respiration.
हाँ ट्रकिया से होता है तो ट्रकियल रेस्पिरेशन, राइट। अगर लंग्स से होता है तो हायर एनिमल्स में लंग्स होते हैं। ओके, लंग्स, प्रेजेंस ऑफ लंग्स इज फीचर ऑफ मॉडर्निटी और डेवलपमेंट। तो जब लंग्स से रेस्पिरेशन होता है तो हम यहाँ पे इसको बोलते हैं पल्मोनरी रेस्पिरेशन। ओके, दिस इज ओनली फॉर इंफॉर्मेशन। तो रेस्पिरेशन बाय लंग्स भी से पल्मोनरी रेस्पिरेशन। तो हम पल्मोनरी रेस्पिरेशन करते हैं। बहुत सारे एनिमल जो है पल्मोनरी रेस्पिरेशन को एग्जिबिट करते हैं। अगर हम फिशेस को देखते हैं तो फिशेस कैसा रेस्पायर करेंगे? गिल्स से। सो फिशेस में जनरली गिल रेस्पिरेशन होता है। अगर आप इंसेक्ट्स को देखते हो तो उनमें लंग्स नहीं होते हैं, लंग्स के प्लेस में ट्रकिया होते हैं, ट्रकियल रेस्पिरेशन। तो हमें हमारे बॉडी में ट्रकिया भी है और लंग्स भी है। तो हम we are respiring, मतलब our main respiratory organs are lungs, which is called pulmonary respiration. So frog is also respiring with the skin. Okay, so we say it as frog is exhibiting a cutaneous mode of respiration. So our annelids exhibit cutaneous respiration. Now when you take the earthworm, as it lives in the moist soil, it is also respiring with the skin. So respiration by skin is called cutaneous respiration. Right?
Sir, but lung respiration was also technically correct because gills respiration is gill respiration, trachea respiration is tracheal respiration. So that was a good guess.
Yeah, if you are saying lung respiration also, it is not a wrong answer, right? So respiration by lungs, we can say it as lung respiration. It is not wrong. But here a special name is given, pulmonary respiration. So if you say pulmonary respiration, it will be scientifically correct. If you are saying lung respiration also, it is not wrong. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So that is the reason when you answered lung respiration, I have not said it is wrong. It is correct only. Respiration by lungs, lung respiration. Respiration by skin, we say skin respiration. Okay. But here some particular names are given. So that is the reason I have said the names. Now when you go for blood vascular system, and again, respiration by moist skin, that is cutaneous respiration, and in some aquatic annelids, parapodia help in respiration. Because aquatic annelids में parapodia होता है, ये respiration का भी थोड़ा बहुत मदद करता है, तो respiration में भी ये help करता है. Okay, blood vascular system इनका closed है. What is closed circulation? You know very well. Blood flows in blood vessels. We say it as closed circulation. Okay. Now they have respiratory pigment. What is our respiratory pigment? Inside our body, there is inside the blood, there is a respiratory pigment, hemoglobin. In our annelids also, respiratory pigment may be hemoglobin or it may be erythropoietin. Okay. So the respiratory pigment may be. So annelids में जो respiratory pigment होता है या तो हीमोग्लोबिन हो सकता, ओके, या इनमें एरिथ्रोपोietin ये भी होता है respiratory pigment. Okay, so some annelids have hemoglobin, some annelids have erythropoietin as the respiratory pigment. So these animals do not have RBC. So the blood contains WBC but not RBC, red blood cells. Instead of red blood cells, some irregularly shaped cells are there. They are called amoebocytes. Okay. So RBC के प्लेस में इनमें amoeboid blood corpuscles होते हैं. What is the meaning of amoeboid blood corpuscles? Amoeboid blood corpuscles मतलब they have a shape resembling the amoeba. इनमें RBC नहीं होता है. आरबीसी नहीं होने के वजह से उनके प्लेस पे व्हाट आर देयर, amoeboid blood corpuscles are there. Okay, that also you have to remember. They have WBC but not RBC.
Sir, what is difference between hemoglobin and erythropoietin?
Listen here, hemoglobin is a protein whose chemical composition is different. Erythropoietin is a protein whose chemical composition is different. Only the difference is chemical composition. Okay, so Coca-Cola and Pepsi both are cool drinks, but chemical composition is little different. Here, both the functions, both hemoglobin function and erythropoietin function are same, but only the chemical composition is different. Okay,
हाँ sir.
right. So they do not have RBC. ये भी एक point है. Or I am writing annelids do not have RBC. RBC means red blood cells. You know very well. Are red blood corpuscles. Okay. So annelids में हमारे RBC नहीं होते हैं. But amoeboid blood corpuscles are there. Blood corpuscles, blood cells, both are same only. So you can use the name blood corpuscles or blood cells, whatever you feel convenient. So इनमें जो है RBC नहीं है, RBC के प्लेस में इनमें amoeboid corpuscles are there. Okay. Now always remember when you take the blood, so blood is a fluid connective tissue. So now when you take the blood is a fluid connective tissue. So blood has two parts. One is plasma, which is a liquid part or fluid part of the blood. In this plasma, you have blood cells. Right? Now blood cells are of three types. When you go for human beings, RBC, WBC, and blood platelets. Okay, RBC, WBC, and blood platelets. So this is the total picture of blood. But this total picture of blood is not mandatory that it will be present in all animals. When you take our annelida, it have plasma and it have WBC. It do not have RBC. What it is having in place of RBC? It is having amoeboid cells. Understanding the point? It do not have platelets. Blood platelets are also not present in annelids. So it have a fluid liquid which is plasma, amoeboid cells or amoeboid blood corpuscles and WBC. Right? So that is the unique feature here or special feature we can say. Now they have, instead of kidney, they have nephridia. Nephridia will do two functions. Okay, instead of kidneys, they have nephridia. Nephridia will help in excretion, elimination of nitrogenous waste materials. It also helps in osmoregulation. What is osmoregulation? Did you remember? Ionic balance. In and out the body, we say that for osmoregulation.
So,
Now, so nephridia are helping in excretion. So excretory product, ammonia, are so they excrete what? They excrete ammonia. NH3 means ammonia. Okay, like that way. Common are ammonotelic, ureotelic, or uricotelic. Common, most common excretory waste. So as they are excreting ammonia, we say them as ammonotelic animals. Means their excretory material is chiefly containing ammonia or mainly containing ammonia. Okay. Now when you take nervous system, NS, they do not have brain. Okay, instead of brain, they have nerve ring. Now this is the nerve ring. Instead of brain, they are having nerve ring. Double midventral nerve cord. Double midventral nerve cord. Now what is midventral? I will explain you. Let me write complete all the names. Okay. With paired ganglia. Now, if you take any animal, it has two surfaces, ventral surface and dorsal surface. Ventral surface means what? If you take the leaf also, it is having ventral surface and dorsal surface. Every animal has ventral surface and dorsal surface. So ventral surface means in our human body, our face is on ventral surface. Our heart is on ventral surface. But our spinal cord पीछे है, जिसको हम बोलते हैं dorsal surface. So now ये हमारा जो annelida है, annelids में nerve ring है, right? So there will be a nerve ring. This is a nerve ring, for example, and they are having double midventral nerve cord on the ventral surface connected to the nerve ring. Two cords will be there. This is one cord. This is second cord. Clear? Which we say them the two are there, so we are saying double midventral nerve cord, or we can also say annelids have nerve ring and two ventral nerve cords. Two ventral nerve cords. So here the name he is two का मतलब होता है double. So इसने क्या कहा यहाँ पे डबल midventral nerve cord. Midventral का मतलब क्या हुआ? एकदम ventral side के middle में. Suppose this is the ventral side. Suppose this is the total ventral side. Midventral means एकदम middle. Okay. So the nerve ring will be there in the head region, and ekdam in the middle we have double ventral nerve cords in the middle like this way. Double ventral nerve cords, paired ganglia. Paired ganglia means some group of nerve cells will be there like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. These are paired ganglia. Paired means two in number. Okay. So like that way, they are having the nervous system. So human nervous system is different from other animals. So their nervous system consists of a nerve ring, midventral, double midventral nerve cord with paired ganglia. So that is the nervous system. Okay. Any confusion?
Sir, they have a circumpharyngeal nerve ring.
Circumpharyngeal.
Nerve ring or other name is there?
It is normal nerve ring only. See here, nerve ring or circumpharyngeal nerve ring, both are same only. Based upon the location. For example, if the nerve ring is present in the thoracic region, we say thoracic nerve ring. If it is present in pharynx region, we say it as circumpharyngeal nerve ring. Like that. So based upon the location, the names of the nerve ring will change. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now sense organs. They also have sense organs. Some sense organs are there. So sense organs of touch, they have sense organs of touch. Tactile organs are there. Okay, sense organs of touch. You are able to feel when anybody touches you. Okay, so sense organs of touch are called statocysts. So they have statocysts, which are acting as sense organs of touch, and they have photoreceptor cells. Photoreceptor cells, which can identify the light. They also have eyes. They can see. Yes, they are also having eyes. This is also a prominent point. They also have taste buds. They can taste your food, whether it is delicious or not. Okay. So you see, annelida से जो नीचे वाले एनिमल्स थे उनमें ये सब फीचर्स नहीं थे. वो देख नहीं सकते थे, टेस्ट भी नहीं कर सकते थे. बट एनिलिड्स में थोड़ा डेवलपमेंट हुआ कि वो टेस्ट कर सकते हैं फूड को, टच को भी वो फील कर सकते हैं, देख सकते हैं, आइस है उनमें. ओके, इफ यू टेक द लीच यू कैन सी टू आइस इन द लीच. सो लाइक दैट वे. अब एनिलिड से अगर आगे हम जाएंगे आर्थ्रोपोडा, उनमें और थोड़े डेवलप्ड फीचर्स मिलेंगे. जैसा जैसा इफ यू मूव फॉरवर्ड, more and more advanced features you will be getting. Okay, so this is the sense organs. Sexes may be separate or united. और सीधी बात कहना है तो दे में भी यूनिसेक्सुअल और बाइसेक्सुअल। क्लियर? यूनिसेक्सुअल का मतलब क्या हुआ है? दे में बी मेल एंड फीमेल बट नॉट बोथ। So sexes, they may be unisexual. Example is Nereis. Nereis, which is an aquatic annelida. It is a unisexual animal.
Bisexual earthworm.
Earthworm is bisexual. It means it is hermaphrodite. And another example given is leech. Leech is also bisexual. Okay. So bisexual means what we are saying, sexes are not separate. Sexes are not separate means what? Male and female genitals are present. Sexes are separate. तो थोड़ा घुमा के दिया तो सीधा you can write unisexual, bisexual. Okay. So earthworm is hermaphrodite. It means bisexual. Leech is also hermaphrodite. But Nereis is an example of unisexual annelida. Now, in some animals, development is direct without any larval stage, and in some annelids there is indirect development. So, in earthworm and leech there is direct development, but in Nereis there is indirect development by forming a larva, which is named as trochophore larva. The name of the larva is what? Trochophore larva. So, development, it may be direct. Direct का मतलब हुआ without any larval state. It may be indirect. Indirect का मतलब हुआ by having a larval state. तो direct development होता है earthworm में और leech में. Indirect development होता है Nereis में. Okay. तो इनका एक larva होता है. That larva is called trochophore larva. With the name of the larva given is what? Trochophore larva. This is the name of the larva. Okay. So development may be direct or indirect like that. Now, when you go for examples, many examples are there. Nereis, earthworm, leech. Leech is commonly called as Hirudinaria. Leech is commonly called as what? Hirudinaria. Okay, which sucks the blood. And there is another example, Aphrodite, according to NCERT, which is called sea mouse. Earthworm, you know, it is called friend of farmer because it makes the soil fertile. So that is the reason we are saying friend of farmer. Leech scientific name is Hirudinaria. It is sanguivorous. It is blood-sucking animal. Okay. So these are the what you can say general features of our annelids. Now, when you go for the classification of the annelida, our annelida is classified into 3 classes based upon presence or absence of setae. Right? So, based upon the presence and absence of setae, our annelida is classified. Okay. Now, here one point you remember. When you see the setae and parapodia, you must not get confused. I'm writing setae, parapodia. Now, parapodia has main function swimming, and another function it helps in respiration. And these parapodia are present only and aquatic forms. Clear? So aquatic annelids possess parapodia. Terrestrial annelids do not possess parapodia. But setae, they are present in terrestrial forms. They are also present in aquatic forms. Okay. but parapodia are the structures which are only present in aquatic annelids, but not present in terrestrial annelids, right? So now setae is the organ of what? Locomotion. Parapodia is the organ of swimming. Swimming is also one mode of locomotion. Swim करना मतलब एक जगह से दूसरे जगह जाना है, उसको भी हम लोकोमोशन ही बोलते हैं. तो parapodia is also a locomotory organ. Setae is also a locomotory organ. But what is the difference? Setae is made up of chitin, parapodia is made up of some other thing. Second, this is the first difference. Second difference, setae are present in all annelids, parapodia are present only in aquatic annelids. This is the second difference. Setae do not help in respiration, parapodia helps in respiration. This is the third difference. Setae do not help in swimming, but parapodia helps in swimming because aquatic annelids have to swim. So parapodia. That is the small differences between setae and our parapodia.
Sir, can you repeat the first difference?
So when you take the setae is made up of chitin. Parapodia is made up of some another unknown mentioned chemical. That is the first difference. Second, setae are present in all annelids. Parapodia are present only in aquatic annelids. Setae help in locomotion. Parapodia also help in locomotion, especially swimming. They also help in respiration. But setae do not have any role in respiration. Setae का कुछ respiration से कुछ दूर तक लेना देना नहीं. But parapodia जो है respiration में also they are helping. Okay, these are the small differences between annelida, parapodia and setae. Okay, so now based on presence and absence of setae, based on presence and absence of setae है या नहीं है? Now our annelids are classified into three classes. Annelida का classification setae के आधार पे किया गया है. वो three classes क्या है? एक क्लास का नाम है पॉलीकीटा. पॉलीकीटा. दूसरा क्लास है ओलिगोकीटा. और लास्ट वाला क्लास है हाइरुडिनेरिया. Hyrudini. These are the three classes. This is only for extra information I am saying it. Not related to NEET, but these are easy, so you can remember them easily. Polychaeta, Oligoceta, Hyrudinea. Now what is Polychaeta? Polychaeta वो annelids है जिसमें बहुत सारे सीटें होते हैं. Many सीटें they have. Okay, many सीटें. इनमें बहुत सारे सीटें होते हैं. ओलिगोकीटा इनमें सिर्फ बहुत कम सीटें होते हैं. क्लियर? हाइरुडिनिया इनमें सीटें वीटें कुछ नहीं होते हैं, नो सीटें. That is the difference. So Polychaeta are the annelids which Polychetans are the annelids which have many setae. Oligoceta are the annelids which have few setae or setae. Hyrudinea are the annelids they have no setae, right? और एक पॉइंट यहाँ पे Polychaeta में इनमें larval stage होता है. I am writing plus. Plus means what? Larval stage is present. Larval stage is absent. Larval stage is absent. इनमें भी larval stage नहीं होता. Okay. Now when you go for examples, in Oligoceta, friend of farmer is there, earthworm. In this you know very well, Nereis is an example. Friend of farmer means what? Annelid. No, sorry, earthworm. Okay, Nereis का और एक Nereis is also called as sandworm. Now in this only one example, famous example, leech. Okay, this is the information which you have to just glance. So based upon the presence and absence of setae, we are classifying the animals. Now let us see the picture of this mentioned diagrams which are mentioned in our NCERT. This is Nereis. You might have seen this worm in waters. पानी में कभी देखे होंगे आप. देखेगा किसी ने?
No, sir. Leech also nobody might have seen. So remember here, leech scientific name is Hyrudinaria. It belongs to Annelida class Hyrudinea. Leech is blood sucking animals. Blood sucking animals are known as sanguivorous animals. Okay. Right. So these are the general features of annelids. Now you can ask any doubt related to annelida.
Sir,
Say beta me.
what is metamerically segmented?
Metamerically segmented means मेटामर्स का ही मतलब होता है सेगमेंट्स सिस्टमैटिकली. फॉर एग्जांपल, दिस इज द बॉडी segment, first segment, second segment, third segment, fourth, fifth, sixth. This is metameric segmentation, systematic. First segment, यहाँ पे second segment है. This is not metamerical segmentation. यहाँ पे भी. Okay. So systematic segmentation, one after the another, we say it as metameric segmentation. Okay. Always remember, metamers equal to segment. Metamerism means segmentation. Okay, both are same. Good question. Further, any questions?
Sir, what is dioecious and monoecious?
1 minute, 1 minute. हाँ. What was your question?
What is dioecious and monoecious?
Right. Dioecious means unisexual. Monoecious means bisexual. Okay. तो यहाँ पे डाई मतलब कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है. तो यहाँ पे ये पर्टिकुलरली याद रखना है. Dioecious, unisexual, monoecious, bisexual. So we use different. Actually, dioecious, monoecious are the words which are generally used for plants. We can commonly use unisexual, bisexual also. No problem. Okay, dioecious means unisexual, having only one sex organ, either the male, either the female. Monoecious means bisexual, having two genitals, male and female. Right?
Yes, sir.
Good. From new students,
सर
any doubt?
यस सर मतलब आज के टॉपिक से है
Priyani, say what is your doubt?
सर. वो सीटें जो है वो वो एक्वेटिक एनालिस्ट में भी होते हैं
हाँ
और लेकिन एक्वेटिक एनालिस्ट में पैरापोडिया उनको स्विमिंग कराते हैं, मतलब वो हेल्प करते हैं स्विमिंग में।
हाँ।
तो सीटे इनडायरेक्टली मतलब क्या करते, क्या मतलब उनका कुछ काम होता है या होता है कि नहीं?
हाँ, तो सीटे विच आर प्रेजेंट इन aquatic annelids, सपोज बाय चांस अगर aquatic एनिमल कभी कभार लैंड पे भी आ सकता है, ओके। फॉर एग्जाम्पल मछली है, पानी में है, कभी कभी ड्यू टू सम अनफेवरेबल कंडीशन इट मे कम ऑन लैंड आल्सो. So at that time this CTA will help, and when as the aquatic animal is living in the water, वो कभी वाटर के अंदर रहने वाले कुछ भी मटेरियल्स को भी अटैच हो सकता है, उस टाइम पे सीटे उसको चलने में काम में हेल्प करता है, ओके। So parapodia help only in swimming, CTA helps that animal to fix, to adhere itself also. Okay Priyani, understood?
Yes sir.
The dioecious means
Once you repeat.
dioecious.
That only. Dioecious means unisexual. DIO, that means asked now, that only you are asking.
Yes,
No,
sir.
dioecious.
Yes.
Dioecious, it means dioecious means unisexual, monoecious means bisexual. तो जनरली यहाँ पे हम यही कंफ्यूज होते हैं कि डाई मतलब दो होना चाहिए, बट यहाँ पे अलग है, डाइशियस मतलब यूनिसेक्सुअल, मोनोइशियस मतलब बाइसेक्सुअल, ओके राइट. Still somebody any questions from your side? Somebody is not there?
Yes, sir.
Any questions from your side?
No, sir.
Right, Abhirani? Chanchal, Biswas?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt from your side?
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Darshana? Amit, something you want to ask?
sir, in that biological classification chapter,
Huh.
in eubacteria, you didn't explain that transfer of DNA, that conjugation, transformation, translocation, that one.
Listen here, in biological classification, we have one point there that eubacteria, they exhibit sexual reproduction, which is called as primitive type of DNA transfer, and this primitive type of DNA transfer जो है 3 methods से होता है, conjugation, transformation, transduction, okay. So you are asking me, sir, you have not explained that conjugation, transformation and transaction, how, what is the mechanism, right?
Yes, sir.
That only, no? उतना है ना मी?
हाँ sir.
हाँ, वो अभी अपने को according to the syllabus it is not needed for us. That is the reason I have not explained, okay. If you go through the module and NCERT about the conjugation, transformation and transaction, he has not mentioned any information, but he has given that point only that primitive type of DNA transfer occurs by these 3 methods, okay.
Sir,
Shravani.
sir, in module 1 question is there, cocoon in earthworm is secreted by?
Clitellar region will be there in the earthworm, okay. So by that region our cocoon is produced.
So what is cocoon?
Cocoon means before the formation of the young individual, some individual will be formed in the, especially in case of earthworm, which is known as cocoon stage, okay. It is not a larval stage, it is only the developmental stage, we can say. The developmental stage is known as
Okay,
cocoon
sure.
stage in earthworm. And in earthworm we have 3 regions basically. So when you see the body of the earthworm, there will be 3 regions. In the middle, there is one region which is known as clitellar region. So just wait, I will draw that. So suppose this is an earthworm. Suppose in the earthworm, if you observe carefully, there is one region which is looking like a band. This region is known as clitellar region. Okay, this is known as pre-clitellar region. Before clitellar region ये है, इसलिए हम इसको बोलते हैं pre-clitellar region. earthworm का माउथ जो है pre-clitellar region में होता है और earthworm का एनस जो है clitellar region के बाजू का जितना भी रीजन है स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम हियर टू हियर पोस्ट clitellar region में होता है. ओके, तो ये clitellar region में कुछ ग्लैंड्स होते हैं. जब earthworm सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन होने के बाद इट विल डेवलप a structure which is known as what cocoon. तो ये clitellar region जो है it will help in cocoon formation. Okay, good. This is the thing. Okay, very good. So you all go through the MCQs from A to Z, and I have already said you जो भी MCQs नहीं आपको कंफ्यूज होते हैं उसका मैं एक्सप्लेनेशन भी दूंगा. तो आप सिर्फ एक काम करो कि MCQs को फोटो करके एडिट करके मुझे पोस्ट कर दो. सो एज सून एज आई रिसीव 10+ MCQs आई विल टेक द क्लास ओनली ऑन दैट MCQs. आई विल शो यू, मतलब आप उसको एडिट करके भेज देंगे तो मैं डायरेक्ट यहाँ पे वो MCQ क्वेश्चन बता दूंगा ताकि सबको वो, मतलब आपका जो MCQ है, सावनी का जो MCQ है, वो अभिरानी का भी डाउट हो सकता है. बट अभिरानी क्या है, अभी इम्यूनिटी बढ़ाने के चक्कर में बात नहीं करती है, डाउट नहीं पूछती है, तो इनडायरेक्टली वो सबके लिए हेल्पफुल हो जाएगा. अंडरस्टैंडिंग? सो व्हाट यू डू, वॉट एवर द MCQs यू आर फीलिंग complicated, you just take photo, you edit it, crop it, you send it. One day before the exam or 2 days before the exam, I will explain you all that MCQ in the classroom itself. Okay, if the MCQ is very simple, instantaneously I will text you the answer. If it means if it is an informative MCQ. What is informative MCQ? Informative MCQ is an MCQ जो सिर्फ एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन होता है. ओके, अगर इंफॉर्मेटिव MCQ है तो उसके लिए एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं लगता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर अपने बुक में दिया है हार्ट का वेट और हार्ट का कलर, इंफॉर्मेटिव, अगर एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन कभी कभी मिलता है कि हार्ट का डायमीटर इतना है, तो इंफॉर्मेटिव MCQs के लिए इंफॉर्मेशन, मतलब एक्सप्लेनेशन उतना जरूरत नहीं. बट देयर आर सम MCQ, जैसा अभी क्लाइटेलर रीजन वाला है, ककून वाला, इसके लिए थोड़ा एक्सप्लेनेशन लगता है. जैसा भी आपको क्लियरली समझ में आया कि हाँ क्लाइटेलर मतलब earthworm में ऐसा क्लाइटेलर रीजन है, वो क्लाइटेलर रीजन में ग्लैंड्स है, वो ग्लैंड्स की वजह से ककून बनता. सो यू टेक्स्ट मी, सो इन द क्लासरूम इटसेल्फ आई विल एक्सप्लेन ऑल दैट MCQs. मैक्सिमम कितने 20 या 30 निकलेंगे आपके डाउटफुल MCQ सभी के मिला के, तो अपन क्लास में उसको अपन सेशन कर लेंगे. ओके
Sir, anyways, principal ma'am said that from Thursday to Saturday there will be bio doubt class.
थर्सडे टू
Saturday,
ओके. टाइमिंग मैडम सेट टू यू
2 to 3.
ओके ओके. So in that if there is doubt class also means in that also we can solve that, no issue. Okay, further any questions? Okay, then I'm ending the session.
Bye, sir. Good day.
Good day to all.